Hi my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all are doing well and having an awesome, amazing, spectacular day. I am here to do birthstone makeup because October actually has 2 birthstones. I know, right? Like, why do they get 2? That's not fair. They have opal and they have pink tourmaline. So for the eyes, I went with an opal inspired makeup look, and then for the lips, that's pink tourmaline. I will be uploading a short very soon on how to do the lips because they're very sparkly Barbie pink and I'm so in love with this sparkliness. I keep looking at it in my viewfinder, I keep looking at it in a mirror and I'm just like, who's that girl? She looks so cute with that sparkling pink lip. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. And if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope you like what you see and I appreciate you hanging out with me today. My name is Em and you're watching Makeup Free. I feel like intros are kind of dead these days, but the reason I say my intros because people tend to mispronounce it. They think it's makeup RY and I'm like, no. They're like, makeup rye? No. It's makeup free, like artistry, makeup free. Anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying welcome and hi. Let's get into the makeup look. I have already applied my brows and I have an eyeshadow base on, my primer. I am going to use the NYX eyeshadow base and this is like a shimmering white color. When I think of opal, I think of it as just being this nice, beautiful like white base with reflective colors on top, like from it. I haven't used this in a while, to be honest. In terms of eyeshadow bases, this is not the most opaque one that I've used, but I like that it's just like this light diamond-like luster. And the NYX bases are actually really nice to use. Because I'm going to be layering some colors on, I just want to make sure I have a nice sticky base to kind of work with. That's so pretty. I kind of just want to leave it on its own. I think this would make a beautiful like diamond eyeshadow look if you want something just really basic. But of course this is supposed to be opal, not diamond, so I'm going to add a little bit of blue and green into this outer corner in the crease area. The reason I'm going to do that is because opals do sometimes reflect a beautiful blue or teal kind of color. These 2 blues I'm probably going to blend together. This one's just slightly darker, this one's just slightly more green toned. And then I'm going to play with this lime green and maybe some of this yellow. So I'm going to dip a fluffy brush into this blue. I'm going to tap this here on this outer corner. It will stick to the base, so I'm just going to be really light-handed with it because I want to make sure this will blend. Oops, I still have some of that green in there, so let me wipe off my brush really quick. And I'm just going to kind of keep this as a line here and just kind of gently sweep this in towards the center of that crease and just let it be a light wash of color there. So it's not going to be the brightest, the darkest, which I don't actually want. I want this to be soft and kind of ethereal looking. The eyeshadow I'm using is a matte one, but with this very sparkly base, it's actually kind of turning into a shimmering blue, which works really well. And that's actually the effect that I kind of wanted. Because when you look at an opal, nothing is ever just like a straight up flat color. It reflects and it has like this very sparkly like quality to it. I'm loving how this looks so far. Not quite a fall look, let's just be honest. I did a video a couple weeks ago where I was showing you what palettes I'm using this fall, and most of the fall palettes are like warm tones, oranges, browns, that sort of thing, and I really didn't pull out many eyeshadow palettes that had blues in them. Not a lot of like funky fun colors outside of the fall spectrum. I did keep this palette out, so I'm glad that this one was working for this purpose. But anyway, it's just fun to mix it up and play with different colors outside of the season. I'm going to dip into this deeper blue here. Just add a little bit on this bottom area and just kind of smoke it out into this outer corner ever so slightly. The reason I'm so excited about October's birthstone is because my grandma was born on October 10th. And the day that this video is going up, it's October 10th. So today would have been my grandma's birthday. She passed away a few years ago, so I miss her so dearly. I wasn't expecting to get emotional doing this. According to a lot of the articles I've read about opal, it's supposed to be a symbol of water. It's reflective, and obviously it's prismatic because it reflects all these beautiful colors. It's like the holographic gemstone of the world, which is so cool because when I think about my grandma, she was very fiery spirit, but she was also very grounded in a lot of ways too. When I look at certain tones of opal, there's like this fiery red and fiery pinkish orange, and I think of my grandma as being this, you make her mad, she will come at you. But then she's very calm and collected other times, but you get her mad and riled up, it's just like a different color, a different tone. I think opal was like the perfect gemstone for my grandma in her birth month. And then she loved pink. I don't know if it was actually her favorite color, but she definitely did like her pink. It makes me happy because it reminds me of my grandma. Okay, so we've got that base of the green, of the blues. There we go, now you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to go into that electric green, that electric lime kind of green color, same brush, and I'm just going to dust a little bit here on this inner corner in the crease area and just kind of blend it in. It's going to be a little bit of a gradient because this was like that deep teal and then the blue and now this green. And it looks so pretty on this base. Everything looks so shiny. I'm going to take this matte white shade and I am going to matte up the lid, which is opposite of what I usually do. I usually do shimmering on the lips and then matte around it, but I'm going to do matte on the lid because I'm going to layer some other stuff on top. I do want some differentiation of texture a little bit. And this white eyeshadow just kind of brightens up my eyes as well. Now, I have a sample of this eyeshadow, so it's really small, but it is Free Love from Urban Decay. And it's a beautiful pink tone, but it reflects and has this kind of orangey base to it. And I think this will be perfect for an opal makeup look. So now I'm going to take this on the lid. That white base underneath kind of helps this stick out a little bit more. But I'm only really applying this into the inner third of that lid. And I'm just kind of blending it into the green. Now there might be some slight muddiness that comes from it because the orange and green are opposites. The orangey tone in here is going to blend kind of goofy, but that's okay. I can make that work for me in a minute. As I kind of get towards the center, I'm just going to kind of like flick it out. This eyeshadow look needs some brightness, something to kind of really make the center of the eyelids pop. I have a duochromatic eyeshadow. I'm going to tap that over the top with this brush that has a little bit of gold in it, and that's going to help blend into that green. The gold and green will work together, whereas with that orangey tone it just kind of turns muddy, but that gold works as like a nice transition. And go back in with my blending brush and just kind of soften these colors together here in this corner. This wash of color on the lids is very light and bright. I'm going to anchor it a little bit by applying some black liquid liner and some mascara, and I'm going to do that off camera, and when I come back I'll show you how I'm going to do the rest of the look. I went ahead and did a pretty big wing line here, which I'm actually living for. This kind of has like a 60s mod kind of feel to it in some ways because of the light blue with this wing liner. One thing that I noticed when I was applying the liner is that I didn't quite like how this pink and blue blended together in this outer corner. So I'm going to fix that by taking kind of this bluish purple and just kind of tap it right here in between. And it's just the subtlest transitional shadow right here. And I barely have any on my brush, making sure colors are marrying together nicely. The purple makes those two colors marry together because they have that similar color in common, the red. It's just the subtlest change, but I like it. I'm going to apply just a medium brown eyeliner to the bottom outer third of the lash line. You can see it just defines it just the slightest. It's just going to make my eyes look a little bigger. And I'm going to use a clean finger and smudge that in. Perfect. You may not be able to get your hands on this, and if you can't, that's okay. But this is from Temp 2. This is a liquid highlighter that you use in an air compressor. I like being able to take the liquid and put it on the back of my hand just like so. It's called Pink Pearl. The reason I like it is because it's very similar to that eyeshadow I used, where it's got kind of a coral orangey tone to it, a nice shimmering pink reflect, and it's a little bit more golden as well. So if you've got a warmer skin tone like me, this looks really pretty. How I'm going to apply this is I'm going to use a brush, of course, and apply it here in this tear duct area. A little bit here on the center. Today's garbage day. I should always remember that so I don't film at the wrong time. It's very subtle. I don't know if it's going to pick up in camera. Here it is on the lowest. For blush, of course, we're going to play with blush today. I have had this gorgeous palette for a blush palette for so long. I think you pronounce the brand Maelle. Maelle? But it's got some beautiful shimmers in here. I got it in an Ipsy bag and I have not used it yet. And I have. I've used it once. I see one of the colors in there that I swatched. I'm kind of sad to dip into this and ruin it, but it's meant to be used. So I'm going to dip into this pink right over here and just, oh my gosh. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Well, that's a very purpley toned blush, and since I'm already committed and there's glow to it, it's a clean brush. It has no product on it. I'm going to use this to kind of buff this blush in. And it's got a gold sheen to it already, so I'm going to skip the highlighter. I had one I was planning to use, but that's okay. Now I have the most beautiful glowy cheeks. And this one came down just a tad bit too far. So how do I fix that? Well, I'm going to take a teeny bit of concealer on the back of my hand and just kind of buff that over the top, and then use that clean brush and just kind of buff that out even more. And you know what? I'm not wearing foundation yet, so I could even go further to mute this down even more by applying like a sheer foundation over the top, which I kind of don't want to do because I like how glowy this looks. But I could also go in with a matte powder, which I'm not usually the biggest fan of putting matte powder all over my face. So if I just apply it here, then I won't have to worry about the dry skin as much. Just making sure to blend that down. And that softened that look up a bit. Because that was kind of bold. For lips, I'm going to do something fun. But I'm going to film it as a separate video and short, which I'll have up soon. So I'm using my Aquaphor lip repair because my lips are super dry and a little chapped and peely. But I'll be right back once the lips are done, and we'll close it out. Okay, I'm back with some very pink, sparkly, Barbie-like lips. This is what I consider to be pink tourmaline. It's sparkly, it's pretty, it's like that medium toned pink. I think my grandma would think this is fabulous. Not that she would ever wear the sparkliness, but I think she might wear like the pink underneath. I feel very colorful and rainbow-like, and I am enjoying this makeup look. What do you think? Do you like the opal interpretation? Do you like the pink tourmaline interpretation? I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you think of this look in the comments below, and also be sure to wish my grandma a happy heavenly birthday. Let me know if you like this Birthstone series and if I should do another one for citrine in November, because that's November's birthstone is citrine, I believe. It's like that orangey golden tone color. Ooh. Maybe I'm just gonna do it anyway. I think I'm just gonna do it because I just had a couple of images pop into my head like, ooh, that could be really pretty. Thank you again for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Stay electric as always. Mwah. Bye.